Today we're going to go through 4 skills that can help elevate your game in the kitchen. When we think of a ninja, we're thinking somebody who is disciplined, efficient, and goes through a process that works for them. When you take that concept and apply it to your healthy meal plan, you are sure to be more sustainable and have easier, healthier, and quicker meals at home. Today we're going to go over how to bulk cook chicken, how to roast vegetables, bulk cook grains, as well as make a vinaigrette. So you can start with these 4 techniques, see how it can apply to your meal plan and how it can make things a little bit easier for you at home to feed yourself and your family healthy meals. When we're bulk cooking chicken, a lot of times the complaint is that it's dry. When you use the sear and bake method, not only can you cook up to 8 or even 10 chicken breasts all at once, but you're also going to lock in the moisture that's in that chicken, seal it and save it so that if you're using it for the next 3 days for different meals, you're not going to be complaining about the texture of this healthy protein. You're going to start off with a hot pan. I like using my cast iron skillet. Sometimes I flavor the chicken beforehand and sometimes I don't. I'm going to do one of each today. My favorite is this mushroom umami spice blend. It's just a multi-purpose spice blend. That is my favorite because it's versatile. But you could also do something like an Italian seasoning mix. You could go with chili powder and cumin if you're going to be going with a Mexican dish. But you also can just cook the chicken plain or with a little black pepper and flavor it after the fact. Sear your chicken on both sides, either in an oven-safe dish or sear and transfer to a sheet pan so that you can put more chicken breasts in the oven. I've got the oven hot at 350 right now. Once we sear, we're going to bake the chicken for 20 minutes. That's typically as long as it takes for chicken breasts, but if you would like, you can do an internal temperature on it. You're looking for it to be 165 degrees. Let that chicken cool when it comes out, and then you can slice it or dice it and keep it on hand for salads, wraps, stir fries, and even soups. It makes dishes really easy in the future if you already have the chicken done and waiting, ready to use. It's time to talk whole grains. They're a great carbohydrate choice. They offer fiber, protein, and even zinc and magnesium on your healthy plate. Quinoa, farro, and long grain rice are my staples, but I also like to experiment with oats, barley, bulgur, and wheat berries. One of my favorite tools for whole grains is this over-the-sink strainer. This will help you bulk cook the grain. I can drain as much as 8 to 10 cups of cooked quinoa if I do it in a very large pot. You might be wondering what I'm going to do with that much cooked whole grain. The answer is to freeze it. It's one of my best kitchen tips. Freeze your whole grains that after they're cooked in 2-cup portions, put them in freezer bags, stack them in the freezer. All you have to do is pull them out, thaw, add a bit of flavor, then top with protein and roasted vegetables, and you've got a meal on hand. Another tip when it comes to cooking whole grains is to add more water than what the directions call for. You don't risk running out of water or burning the bottom of your pan. When you are efficient with how you cook, you really can get these done ahead of time and then use them for grain bowls, cold salads, hot salads, and even soups. I'll use these for breakfast sometimes too, with a kind of a vegetable hash with a bit of quinoa or farro, some avocado, and an egg. So they're very versatile. Kind of, think outside the box when it comes to using these whole grains and make sure you are planning to use them in multiple meals throughout your week when you're cooking them in large quantities. The key to roasting vegetables is to give them the space they need to breathe so that they can brown and fully cook without getting too soggy. A lot of times I'll use 2 sheet pans, which are cookie sheets with the rim, or jelly roll pans, some people call them. And it's key to pay attention to your cook time. Brussels sprouts and carrots are both harder vegetables that tend to take a little bit longer to cook. Meanwhile, zucchini and peppers are great to go together as well. I typically don't add any kind of flavor to the roasted vegetables until the very, very end. Might do a drizzle of balsamic vinegar or a bit of apple cider vinegar. You could also do a sprinkle of dried herbs. You can also flavor on your dish as you add vinaigrettes or sauces and keep the roasted vegetables plain, letting the flavor of the produce speak for itself. One tip that I do have is to start your onions on the sheet pan. while you're cutting up your vegetables. By doing that, the onions can get going, they can get a little bit of char on them before you toss everything together. I do like charred onions, so if you don't really care, that's maybe a step you want to skip, but that's kind of a nice little tip. Beyond that, whole onion rings, whole button mushrooms, whole baby carrots, and cherry tomatoes are all very quick and easy grab and roast items that you don't even have to get the knife out for. So as you're building your meal plan and becoming a kitchen ninja, make sure you account for your time and how much effort you have in the evening to give to this dish, because there are solutions if we stay smart and diligent about our cooking plan. The last skill we're going over today is how to make a vinaigrette to add to something other than a salad. Today I've got chicken bulk cooking along with onions, Brussels sprouts, and carrots roasting with a bit of quinoa. You could take those foods right there into many different directions. I'm choosing to do a bit of an apple cider vinegar, kind of sweeter, maybe a little bit of spice flavor to it. But a vinaigrette is very versatile. You can add just a bit of olive oil, and we're doing a bunch of servings here, so I'm probably going to add about a quarter cup. I don't typically measure much of anything. A little bit of mustard. This is a spicy honey mustard that's going to give it a little bit of a kick. All right, then we're adding apple cider vinegar, which is the kind with the mother in it, so it's a little bit, it's got those floaties in it, and just a touch of real maple syrup. So I'm going to shake this up. This type of dressing is going to go well on carrots, sweet potatoes, apples, anything with kale, cherries, that kind of thing, walnuts, a little bit of blue cheese. Experiment with the different flavors you like. If you like Southwest, do the same type of vinaigrette with olive oil, a more mild flavored vinegar, and then chili powder, cumin, and lime juice. Pair those flavors to match the cuisine that you're craving. That way these foods that you cooked to prep ahead of time, you're just compiling, flavoring, and serving. So once you've got your vinaigrette shaken up, you can add this to your protein or your vegetables before serving, but this is going to give you plenty of flavor. It's not going to add many calories at all, but it's going to pack that powerful punch to make your dish something that your family craves and enjoys. One of the main messages about being efficient and disciplined in the kitchen is to find out what works for you. When you bulk cook chicken, have at the ready cooked whole grains, you can roast vegetables and add flavor that changes daily, you're more flexible to create meals that sound good to you, that are still healthy and full of plenty of fiber, vegetables, and other nutrients.